Hello everybody, it's Sandy with Urban Rebel Designs in Aztec, New Mexico. Thanks for joining me today. This is going to be a little bit different than what I normally do because I am starting a series of lives that I'm going to take you through the entire process of doing this gorgeous French Provincial dresser. I'll step back so you can see the whole thing. And I wanted to go through from beginning to end. And since hi Kelsey, since I'm scheduled for a few lives in the next couple of weeks, I thought we would take advantage of that and go through an entire project, and you can see my process from start to finish. Hey AJ! So on this beautiful piece, it has a laminate top, and then the rest of it is painted. So I'm going to do things a little differently than most people might. Some people may do it the same way, which is great, but I'll show you. We're just using 6 products because I forgot the top coat. 6 products on this. Today we're going to start with Slick Stick, and we have already used Dixie Belle's mud to do a little repair down on this end that I'll talk about in just a second. But the colors that we're using on this piece, we're going to use Caviar, which is the gorgeous classic black. We're also using Sawmill Gravy because I want it to have a softer look. And we're going to use a little bit, I'm juggling here, a little bit of the Gulf. Hey Nathina. So I'm going to set these aside. And let me run through the schedule for you real quick. I have it written down here because I had to write it out. Today we're going to be spraying the first coat of Slick Stick. We will let that dry for an hour. After the live has finished, I'll come back and spray a second coat. We'll let it sit overnight. Then tomorrow morning when I come in before my class, I'm going to spray a base coat of Sawmill Gravy. And then I am live on the Chalk Paint 101 page tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. And at that time, we're going to pour the top. Then on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern in the World of Chalk Paint Distress and Decoupage group, we will work on the drawers and the hardware. And then Wednesday at 11 Eastern, we're going to spray the body in Caviar, and we're also going to do some stripes on the side. The stripes will be Caviar and Sawmill Gravy. And then a week from tomorrow, so Saturday the 23rd at 4 p.m. Eastern, we'll be placing Would You Bend on the sides, and the plan is to use these 2 medallions. I'm going to put them together to create one larger medallion. These will be in the Gulf, and I chose these because this is the hardware. See if I can pull a piece out. I just want you to see what my whole design process is like, and this is all subject to change at any moment because I'm a woman, I'm allowed to change my mind. Hi Solly Joe, how are you? So I chose these Would You Bend medallions because of the hardware. I'm going to use the original hardware and see how they mimic each other. And also the feet that you can't see right now have some scrollies on them, and we pick it up here with the Would You Bend. So I'm going to set these aside. And today what I wanted to show was how simple and easy it is to spray Slick Stick. Yes, sir.
We did have a question of what Slick Stick was. Dixie Belle answered, but
perfect.
I want to talk about Boss too.
Okay, so I wanted to go over the difference between Slick Stick and Boss and when you would use each one. Slick Stick is like an adhesive for paint. When you've got a super slick surface like the laminate on the top of this, normally I would not use Slick Stick on the bottom, but because of my timeline and that I'm going to be base coating and taping so quick, I am going to use it on the sides and the top. But it's like an adhesive for paint. Some people call it a bonding primer. It's not exactly a primer, so I like to think of it more as a glue stick for paint. Boss is a blocker. It blocks stains and odors and bleed through. It does not eliminate the odors. It seals them in so you can't smell them. It seals in the tannins from the wood to keep you from having bleed through. Or if you're going over a piece with a light color that's already got a dark color on it, it will block that dark color from coming through, from seeping through and showing stains. So that's the difference between Boss and Slick Stick. We are not using Boss on this piece. But I'm going to set this stuff aside really quick so I have some room. I wanted to show you how simple and easy it is to spray Slick Stick, because yes, you can spray it. And normally I would be using my Earl X5500 spray station, but I'm not going to use it today. I am going to use a Home Right Finish Max because I couldn't find my Wagner. So these you can get, I know you can get them online. I'm not sure any of the big box stores carry them, but it's a really inexpensive, great starter sprayer if you don't have the Wagner. Now Dixie Belle does carry the Wagner furniture sprayers, and they are fantastic, but I could not find mine today. Hi Tracy. So when you spray Slick Stick or Boss, you do have to thin them just like you do with the paint. Read the instructions on your sprayer. Use the viscosity cup that will come with it. I know my sprayer pretty well, so this was 16 ounces of Slick Stick. This is a 4-ounce cup that I use in all of my classes. So I just fill it up with water, and that's how I measure it. I also use bottled water because our city water here is really heavy, and I don't want anything interfering with my paint or my base coats. Then I just mix it up. I like to let it sit for a few minutes to let the bubbles start to rise to the top. I do this for paint. I also do this for top coats. And then one of the most important things to do that we forget a lot of times is to filter it as you're pouring it into your sprayer. You can get these paper and mesh filters for little or nothing. You can get them at all of the big box home stores. I happen to keep a fine mesh filter that is just the perfect size for all of my sprayers, and that's what I like to use. So I'm going to pour this through, and while it's pouring through, what I'm doing is I am filtering out any solids that may still be in the paint. And I don't care how much you stir it up, how smooth you think it is, you're going to have a little bit of yuck in it. And that's all we're doing with this, is just filtering out any of those solids, because you don't want it to get up in the tube of your sprayer and clog it. That will make you very angry, and you may say bad words. There was a little crack on this end of the dresser that we found when we were cleaning it. We used White Lightning and these heavy duty scouring pads that you can get at restaurant supplies. I think you can get them at the dollar stores too. But that's what we cleaned it with, and we found this little crack that was right in this area back here on the back side. We weren't sure if it was small enough to fill in with paint when I spray it, so we decided to clean it out just a little bit, fill it with some Dixie Belle mud, and then just lightly sand it back so you'll never notice that it's there. And that was just about the only repairs we had to do to this. Okay, so I'm gonna move this off too. I have my Slick Stick strained through, and it's in the jar of my sprayer. It's still dripping a little bit. I'm gonna set this aside, and I will clean this as soon as I'm finished with the video. Because the worst thing in the world is to go to set up your sprayer and your strainer has dried paint. That's when you say bad words and make funny faces. Okay. So the Home Right is the sprayer that I started with. Now, I am going to wear a mask for this today because some people get really upset if I don't. To those people, well, I do the best I can, okay? So I will not be talking while I'm doing this. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them. And my sweet, sweet husband back here will try to remember them when I'm finished. This doesn't make a whole lot of noise, but it will make some. So if noise bothers you, this is a good time to turn your volume down. And my glasses are going to fog up. I'm going to start on this side and just get it finished really quick. Get this in.
I've had some questions about your mask.
Okay, so my mask is a Fight Tech mask. A lot of runners use these to simulate high altitude. It has a filter that's removable. It's got makeup on it now, sorry. But this filter you can change. This you can wash. So it like triple filters the air when you don't want to wear a big bulky respirator. I don't even remember where we got these. I think we got these on Amazon. I'll try to post a link on my page to them. I'll also try to help me remember, I'll post a schedule for the different steps for this. But like I said, now we're going to let this dry for an hour, and then I'll come back and do a second coat, and we'll let that dry overnight. Normally I would let it dry 24 hours, but because of the schedule, it's going to be short this time. In the morning, I will spray sawmill gravy, and then tomorrow afternoon on the Chalk Paint 101 page, we'll pour the top. If you don't have your tickets to the Bells and Bows tour yet, there are still a few available, I think. If you haven't seen, they added a 9th instructor. That's 9 instructors for the Atlanta stop. This gentleman's name is Bruce Davis. He has been in the furniture restoration business for 38 years, I think, 38, 39. He's going to be covering repairs and what to look for when you're looking at a piece to refinish, when you're looking to buy a piece. He's going to go over what to look for, how to do some repairs. This one I cannot wait for. The other instructors are listed on the Bells and Bow Tour Facebook page and on their website. So if you haven't got your tickets yet for Atlanta, this one is turning into the biggest thing ever, and I am so honored to be a part of it. Thanks for joining me today. I hope to see you tomorrow afternoon on the Chalk Paint 101 page at 4 p.m. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.